Hi, I'm Dion from cert.mathsvideos.com. Now, just before we start this integration question, before you do any type of integration question, I'd recommend you know a bit of trigonometry before. I won't jump into integration without knowing basically all the rules of trigonometry regarding double angles and converting from maybe sine squared 2x to like putting that into a sine x angle itself. Because if you don't know them formulas, then you won't be able to get a lot of integration questions out. So here, our first question here, we have the integral of 1 plus cos 2x plus e to 3x. Integrate that with respect to x. Well, what you should know is that the integral of cos 2x is equal to sine 2x all over 2. So that implies the integral of that, this question here, is equal to the integral of 1 is equal to x plus sine 2x over 2 plus e to 3x divided by 3. Now what I'm using here is I'm using the substitution rule. I'm letting u equal to 3x and then I'm working out du dx and converting from there. But I'm going to do that in more detail in the next question, so I'm just not going to do it twice. And don't forget, when you integrate these as well, you have to put a c at the end as a constant. So that's the integral of it there. Now we move on to the next one. Now we're asked here to integrate this to find the integral between 3 and 1, so we're asked to find the area here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the substitution method. I'm going to let u equal to 3x minus 2. And that implies the u dx is equal to 3. And that implies the x is equal to u over 3. So like if you did this in the last question, you get pretty much the u over 3 as well. So that's where you get your third from the bottom one. But here, so we're going to rearrange this. Now, actually, before we move on to the next line, it's very important that what we have here, we're changing all this to u with respect to u, but our limits here is when it's equal to x. These are limits here. So we want to change that limit straight away, because otherwise we'll integrate with respect to u, and then we're using the wrong limits. We're using limits in respect to x. So what we do here straight away is we change our limits. So when x is equal to 3, u is equal to 3 times 3 minus 2, that implies u is equal to 7, and x equal to 1, u is equal to 3 times 1 minus 2, u is equal to 1. So we're going to change these now in a second. So that's the same as the integral from 7 to 1. So here you won't get mixed up. If these were in terms of x and the equation in terms of right hand side in terms of u, actually some of you would get mixed up and make that mistake. So of 12 all over u times du over 3. Now we can cancel these straight away. 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4. And we can always bring the 4 out here in front. So basically you're asked to find the integral of du over u. Now if you know that, well you should actually know that, that's just ln of u. So that is 4 times ln of u, natural log of u, from the limits 7 to 0. So that's 4 times ln of 7 minus ln of 0. And how do we have that work out? It's equal to 7.784 units squared. Units squared. Remember writing the unit squared there as well at the end. And our next part of that question is find the integral of this between values pi over 8 and 0. Now, this is important to remember, we can't really integrate this too easily, so the best way to do it is to convert it into cos 2 theta. So this is the formula here. Sine squared theta is equal to a half 1 plus cos 2 theta. So we just rearrange that. It's integral from pi over 8 to 0 of a half into 1 minus cos 2 theta. We just take the half out here, and that's 1 minus cos. And don't forget it's 2 theta here, so it's double the angle. So original angle here is 2x. And what we have to do here, that means 1 minus cos double the angle again, so that's going to be equal to 4x. So now, that's the same as the integral from pi over 8 to 0, half the integral, of 1 minus sine 4x all over 4. sorry, that should be x. So done. Pi over 8 to 0. Now we want to fill in our values. So that's equal to a half of pi over 8 minus sine 4 times pi over 8 is equal to sine of pi over 2, which is 1 quarter minus 0. Because that's 0 there, so x is equal to 0 and sine 0 is equal to 0. So basically it's equal to half pi over 8 minus a quarter, and I worked that out earlier on. It's equal to 0.07134 units squared.